So today, I want to tell you a story. It's about a man named Musa, but really, it's a story that gets to the heart of something I think a lot of us struggle with: the hidden cost of being way too available for everyone else. And, forgetting about the one person you absolutely have to show up for: yourself. I mean, really think about it. Does this sound familiar? Are you the one everyone calls for their emergencies, but when you're the one who needs a hand, it's just crickets? If that hits a little too close to home, then trust me, Moose's story is one you're gonna want to hear. All right, so let's meet our guy. In this quiet, peaceful town lived a man named Musa. And Musa was famous for one thing above everything else. He was what you might call a chronic people pleaser. The man just could not say no. Seriously, if a neighbor's bike was broken, who'd they call? Musa. If someone needed help carrying a heavy load, they'd knock on his door. He was basically the town's handyman, its therapist, its all-around problem solver. And for Musa, this wasn't just about being kind. He genuinely believed this was how he proved his worth. But here's the thing. While the whole town was singing his praises, calling him a living saint, his own world was literally crumbling around him. His garden? Overgrown. His windows? Cracked. His roof leaked every single time it rained. He was so busy fixing everyone else's lives that he was in a classic state of burnout, just dragging himself home completely drained every night. His mother saw it, of course. She would watch him with this worried look and ask him this really simple but totally piercing question. And Musa, he'd just smile and say, "It's okay, mother. One day people will see my value." But that day, well, it just never seemed to come. A life like that can't last forever. Something has to give. And one evening, as these dark, angry clouds started rolling in and the wind began to howl, everything was about to change. This storm was the breaking point. So as everyone else in town is scrambling to board up their windows and protect their homes, what was Moose's first instinct? You guessed it, to help someone else. He literally sprinted over to his friend Hassan's house to help him secure his belongings, leaving his own home, his own garden, completely exposed to whatever was coming. And this is the moment it all just snaps. After the storm blew over, Musa was just sitting there, staring at his completely ruined garden. His mother came out quietly, looked at all the destruction, and said those words. And hearing them out loud, something inside of Musa finally totally shattered. So the next morning, feeling completely defeated and just hollowed out, Musa went to see Aslam, the town's wise teacher. He laid it all out, trying to understand how all of his goodness, all of his helping, had led to his own personal ruin. Aslam listened, really listened, and then he said something profound. He explained that goodness without any boundaries, well, it's not a virtue at all. It's actually a form of self-destruction. Because every time Musa said yes to someone else, he was quietly saying no to himself, slowly erasing his own needs from the equation. And then Aslam used this incredible analogy. He said, "Musa, think of your kindness like a river. A river gives life-giving water to everyone, right? It's essential. But when that river floods its banks, it doesn't bring life. It brings total destruction." Musa's kindness had become a flood, and he was the one drowning in it. So Aslam gave Musa a task, a really simple one, but probably the hardest thing he'd ever had to do. For the next 7 days, he had to practice setting a boundary. Before he agreed to help anyone, he just had to pause and ask himself if he truly could or even should do it. The very next day, of course, Hassan asked for help. You can just imagine Musa's heart pounding with anxiety. But he took a deep breath, and for the first time in his life, he gently said, "I can't today, Hassan." And after that first wave of guilt passed, he used the time to finally fix his own broken fence. And a strange feeling rushed over him. It was a quiet sense of peace. A few days later, another test. It started raining hard, and his roof began to leak badly. He waited, thinking someone might come help, but no one came. And he wasn't even angry. Instead, he grabbed his tools and just fixed it himself. And as he worked, he recognized the feeling. It wasn't loneliness, it was this newfound confidence, the strength of self-reliance. You see, these small acts of putting himself first started this chain reaction that completely transformed Musa's life. It was never about becoming selfish, it was about becoming self-aware, it was about building self-respect. I mean, just look at this incredible shift. He went from being used to being respected, Instead of being available 24/7, he learned to actually value his own time. His home and garden started to flourish, and he was no longer this drained, exhausted guy. He was confident. He was peaceful. And the craziest part? The townspeople started to respect his boundaries because he finally respected them himself. One afternoon, Aslam came to visit Musa, who was working in his now thriving garden, and he shared this final piece of wisdom. Real change didn't happen when Musa gave up on helping others. No, it happened the moment he decided to include himself in his own circle of care. And that really just leaves us with this one powerful question to think about. Is setting a boundary, is saying no an act of selfishness, or is it actually one of the greatest forms of strength we can ever learn? The strength to protect our own peace and to finally value our own worth.